What is going on, guys? It's Jake from Fish Tech back with an update video for you guys on Better Touch Tool. The last one was awesome. You guys, loved it. So I figured I would go through the comments because a lot of people had different questions. So I just want to go through the questions, give you guys kind of an updated tutorial on some things. There will be a timestamp down in the description. So if there's something that you like, go ahead and hop right to it. But we'll get into our first question. This is from Alex Walton. Hey Jake, great video, but I can't seem to get the sidebar on my Better Touch Tool home screen, the far left panel. How do I activate this so I can follow you through? So this is going to have to do with this sidebar. And most likely what happened is Alex still needs to install the Golden Chaos preset. So in order for us to do that, we're gonna pull up our web browser and we're gonna go to Better Touch Tool Community, click it up, and here we are at the community. So we can go to setup and pre-sharing, and right here we got Golden Chaos. This is the entire thread just dedicated to the Golden Chaos preset. So we can click into here and you'll see the download. So if you just click the download, it's going to download for you. And what you're going to want to do is head back into Better Touch Tool, and you're going to go to the top right corner and you'll see this import button. So you're going to click the import, and then you're going to find where you saved your preset to. So you'll if you're in your downloads folder, you go click it. You'll notice that I do have the Aqua Touch preset right here. I'm checking that out for you guys. Probably going to do a review on it soon. Has some very interesting stuff. So once you import the preset, then you just select it right here and it will automatically update to the preset that you just installed. So that answers that question. Next question from Grand. Hi Jake, thanks for the amazing video. Quick question, using the app switcher, sometimes you tap on the app, but it doesn't open even though you can see the app responded in the menu bar, but the actual window doesn't pop up. Do you know why is that? Cheers. Cheers to you, Grant. The reason for that is because if the app is hidden in the dock and you try and call it with the app switcher, then it is actually not going to pull the app up. It's kind of annoying, and that's one thing that I wish wasn't like that, where if you tap, something that's hidden, like I'll go ahead and hide this Python right now. Now, if I try and call that up by clicking the touch bar, you'll see in the top left corner that it called the app up, but it didn't pull it up. So what it really does is it brings things to the front. So as long as they're in the background of all the other apps, now you can touch it and it's going to call it up to the front. So it doesn't unhide things from the dock, but if it's in the background, it'll bring it to the front. And I still like that. It's still nice. You just have to leave everything unhidden behind your current app that you're using. Okay, next question is from Love Effie. Thanks for the question. Sorry. Still love the video, by the way. I've been trying to see if I could add the subscriber button, but being completely new to Python, Beautiful Soup 4 requests, I'm kind of stuck. So basically, she just wants a better tutorial. I kind of dropped the ball on the last video. I cut it short. I didn't really explain it very well. So what I went ahead and did is I wrote a new program that is more reliable. It doesn't get the traceback error, and it uses the YouTube API to get the data. And it's pretty simple. So I'm going to walk you through right now how we can do this updated program. So there's a couple things that you're going to need. You're going to need a Gmail account, and then we're going to log into the Google Developer Console. It's free. Anybody can do it. You just need to sign up for a Gmail account. So we're going to go to that webpage if we can find it. All right, so this is the Google Developer Console right now. You can just Google Developer Console and this will pop up, and then sign into your account, jake.fishtech. That's where I'm at. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna come select this project dropdown. You're gonna create a new project. This could be named anything. I'll just name this YouTube update. There's no organization associated, so just click create. And what you're gonna do now is ignore that pop-up. You're gonna click enable APIs and services and type in YouTube. So there's all of these options. It does have a specific analytics API, but we're just going to use the YouTube data API. It makes it a lot easier. So I actually already have the API enabled, but you're going to come and hit enable API. There'll be a little button right there. From there, you can go back. We can go all the way back, and we can go to credentials. And what you're gonna see, so I already have some credentials created, but you're going to hit create credentials, and you're gonna click API key. And that's gonna generate an API key for you. So right now I want you to just copy that name, and you're gonna close it, and I want you to bring it into just any doc that you can paste it into. It's going to be important for this program. So you got the key. We can just label this key equals this guy. And here's where we're going to go from here. So YouTube, the API works like this. So they give you a URL, and there are a few things that you have to input into the URL in order for the data to be taken. One of those is the API key, which is what we just got. The other thing is the ID of the YouTube channel that you want to get it from. So if you go to anybody's YouTube channel, after it says channel /, it'll have this string of numbers, and then it's going to go right up until the question mark view as subscriber. So you're going to copy that, and I want you to paste, and I want you to write ID equals that, the YouTube channel's ID. And this is just so you guys can have it copied down in a safe spot. You don't have to keep going back and forth to get all this stuff. Okay, so we have the API key, we have the YouTube ID. Now it's time to get into Python. There will be a few things that you need to install in your Python so that this will work. And I'm going to walk you through how to exactly to install those things right now. So you're going to have to download Python. I'm on macOS Catalina, so I have Python 3.72 is the exact version that I have. Python can be a little tricky with versions. If you don't have the exact right version, things aren't going to work right. So if you're new, I would just recommend just get Python 3.7.2, the exact same as mine, and then everything should work fine. So you're going to download it and then install it. Then you're going to come over to your terminal. So you're going to type in terminal. Here it is. So this is the macOS terminal, and there's a few things that we're going to want to type in so that these programs, modules can install. And it's very simple. Once you learn how to use the pip installer, you're going to be like, wow, this is so awesome. So how it works is you're going to type in the same exact thing as me. You're going to type in Python 3.7. So you can type in, if you have a different Python version, you can type in whatever number you have. I have 3.7, so I want to install it specifically for Python 3.7. It's going to be --m pip install, and then we're going to put in whatever module we want to install. So let's do this first. Google says that you have to install these two modules in order for the API to work. So we'll do that. So just copy and paste it right there and hit enter. Now for me, this says that all of the requirements were already satisfied because I already have it downloaded and installed. For you guys, it'll have a lot of text and it'll have some downloading progress bars as it download and installs. So pip will actually go and get the exact version of the module that you need and install it based on the Python program that you have. So that's why I love pip so much. It makes it so easy to just install whatever you need. You don't have to download anything manually. You just type on, I type Python 3.7-m pip install, and we got the next package. Boom, and then hit enter. Satisfied already. If something goes wrong, there will be some red text that says, there was an error. If everything's fine, it'll be a bunch of text and some downloads, and then we can do the last one. It's the same thing, Python 3.7-m pip install requests, enter, and again says that I'm all set. If you're really having trouble, just comment down below. We can work through it. There's definitely a way, or you can just Google pip is not working, Python pip installation is not working, and something should come up with the error that you're receiving. So all the modules are now installed. Python is ready to go. So I will give you guys this Python code so you don't have to write anything. So URL lib is a package and JSON is a package that are pre-installed with Python, so you shouldn't need to download those two. So what we're going to do here is you're just going to take the channel ID that you had earlier. It should be right here. Mine didn't change because mine's just my own channel ID, but you can get anybody's. And you're going to copy and paste it in between the two quotation marks. That's very important. It has to be in between the two quotation marks so that it is considered a string. Then you're going to take your API key, copy and paste that in between the two quotations. Now you should be all set. So this program is going to take in your API key and the channel ID name. It's all set up to input those things into the URL right here. It's going to take in the JSON data that the API is giving you, and it's going to pick out exactly what you want. So this actually takes the subscriber count and the view count. So if you want to print the view count, you can print total view. And now it's going to print your sub count and your total view count. So we're just printing this variable here that is hooked up to the view count. So what you can actually do to check the URL before you want to run the program is you can take the channel ID and, sorry, that's a link, so I'm just going to paste it up here. So you can take the channel ID and paste the channel ID right where the brackets say channel ID. And then you're going to take your API key and you're going to paste that right where the API key is supposed to go. You can hit enter, and this is all of the information that we get from that URL that we can access from YouTube. So there are a few things here. There's this item dictionary, which is what we're using to access our statistics. It's got the channel ID right there. Total view count, total subscribers, and that's really the only information that we are looking to access. So if this pops up with this information here, then you are golden. That means you did it correctly. If you didn't do it correctly, there's going to be some text, and it's going to say that there was some sort of error at the bottom, like a error 400 or something like that. And if that's the case, I would just go through the steps again, make sure that everything is all set. So running back to the program, we're going to test it. We're going to go run module. Yes, it has to save in order to run. And boom, printed 365 and 67,784. If you're one of those 365, I appreciate you guys very much. You're awesome. Maybe you can consider being 366 for me. That would be really cool. But anyways, that's all printed. I'm gonna get rid of this total view because I only want the subscriber count. So I'm just going to file save that. And now we're ready to bring this into Better Touch Tool. From here, it's virtually the same thing. So this is on my desktop. So I'm actually gonna make this a little smaller. Click on the shell script. Well, for you guys, I'll make a new one so we can just go through it. Select a trigger, go for touch bar widgets, and you're gonna go a shell script. You can name it whatever you want. I'm just gonna name it YouTube. And get rid of that. I'm gonna cheat a little bit, but I'm gonna copy, paste. So everybody is going to want to write user local bin Python 3.7 just like that. If you're using Python 3.7, if you're using a different version, specify whatever version you're using. And then you're gonna put a space. And what we're gonna do is we are going to go find where that Python. So this is our YouTube script Python that we just wrote, .py, and we're just gonna drag it right in there, test it, boom. You see the 365 right there. Now we're golden. That's all you need, I believe. Yes, that's all you need. You can now see the 365 popping up right here. If you want to add an action, you can do that. You can open URL. You know, you want to open up your YouTube channel, so it's youtube.com/your channel. And then when you click the button on the touch bar, it'll open that up for you. And then lastly, if you want to add the icon, go to common, select the button icon, search for YouTube, and it is right there. Now you can, boom, see it. It's got the YouTube button right there. And now it says 365. So that should take care of the issue with the traceback error. I have not gotten a traceback error since I have updated this program using the YouTube API. So that is great. Our next question comes from Frank Tonkar. Great video, thank you. I've got two questions. The first, much more important than the other, LOL. Is there a way to have a separate set of shortcuts/actions on the touch bar on a per app basis? I do a lot of music production and there are shortcuts I'd like to add onto the touch bar for only use in the Pro Tools. But also I'd like to get rid of everything else on the bar except volume and brightness controls while in the program. And then his second question is there a way to use the original volume/brightness controls that are default on the touch bar? I love being able to touch and slide my finger rather than having to repeatedly press and change the volume button levels. So I'm going to answer the second part of this question because it's a lot easier to do first, and then we'll answer the first question right after. If you want to add the slider, there is a widget for it. So you just add a new trigger, and you go to touch bar widgets. And the first two options are the brightness and the volume slider. So search the volume slider. You can see it pop up right here. And it's red, which I hate. I don't like that color. So you can change it to whatever color you want. Click save. And then there you go. You can now adjust it using the slider instead. And you can also make it wider. So like that looks too skinny to me. So if I make it 250, now it's bigger and it's more like the normal one. And then you can add a left icon and a right icon, a knob icon. You can customize it to however you would like. So I'm just gonna get rid of that now. Okay, now we're on to the more complicated one. And I'm gonna use Final Cut as my example here. So when I open Final Cut, I want my own unique personal stuff to come up. I really want this blade cut to come up. So we're gonna open up Final Cut Pro, just so we can show exactly what's happening as we open Final Cut. And I have it set so that it's got a blade cut, and I'm not sure what this Safari's doing there. I'm just gonna quit Safari. And it shouldn't be there. It's still there. There we go. So this is kind of confusing, but you're gonna click on the menu bar and you're gonna edit the conditions for the group. This is the confusing part. And it's glitchy, which really doesn't help at all. But the way I have it set up and the way that I got it to basically eliminate everything from the menu bar is this is gonna say all of the following are true. The app name is not Final Cut Pro. Then none of the following are true. And this lists out the active touch bar groups in the menu bar. So when you set it up like this, it's not going to say this initially. What it's initially going to say, let's see. This is what it is originally going to say. All the following are true. App name is not blank. None of the following are true. So we're going to type in the app of our choice, which for us is Final Cut Pro. I would use the exact capitalization and spacing. And none of the following are true. And you're going to save that. Okay. Hopefully this didn't glitch out. But what should happen now when we open up Final Cut Pro is all of that should disappear. And the blade cut should appear. So we did it. We did it correctly. So that's what it should say. And then you can go in to Final Cut Pro and you can go and add whatever triggers you want. You know, if you want the volume slider there, now you got the volume slider. Boom, there it is. Awesome. Love that. So that answers both those questions. I will say that specific part can be very confusing, and it works off of rules and conditions, and it's very easy to glitch up and make it very confusing on yourself. Even I've already done it correctly and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So that's that. Next question comes from Owen M. Hey Jake, really like your customizations. I'm brand new to this, so I do have a question. I use a lot of media, video, and audio, and I would really enjoy the Golden Chaos mod. It's taken away my ability to scrub files. So he wants to basically scrub files when he's looking at videos and stuff. And then he also had another question. Also, is there a way to save these settings to a new preset? Say we wanted to test something out and get miserably lost in the weeds. So yes, there is a way to save your preset. If you go to the top right corner, you can go export highlighted. So you just select whichever preset you do, export it, and I would do triggers and settings, and then you can save it to wherever you want. That way, you can recover exactly what you want. If you totally screw it up doing like the freaking conditions for the groups, it'll reset it back to what it was. For the first part of your question, and he actually figured out the answer himself before I could get back to him. So what you can do for this is you can actually disable Better Touch Tool for a specific app. So you can add it in, hit this little plus bar, and add, let's say for Final Cut Pro, I want to disable it completely. So I click the little application, and I'd come over here and just hit Disable Better Touch Tool completely, and save. Now if we open up Final Cut, you'll see that Better Touch Tool is disabled. you got the little screen recording thing there because that's what normally would be up on my touch bar. But I think that's very cool. It's a very handy feature to have. Now, whenever you open up Final Cut Pro, the Better Touch tool will be disabled. Michael McKeever asked, I would like to be able to hold a key, hover my mouse over that window, and move or resize that window. So that's an interesting idea, and we can definitely do that, sort of. You won't be able to just hover your mouse over the window, but what you can do is you can click the window with a modifier key, and it will resize for you. So, for example, the way I set it up is I have a 2-finger tap with the modifier of Command, and then I set it to resize the window to the left third. So if I hold Command and I 2-finger tap on the window, then it will resize to the left side, which is really cool. You could set that up, again, let's say you do a 2-finger tap and you're holding the Option key for the right side. You could just do resize to the right third. Now if I hold Option and double tap, there we go. Now it's on the right side. So it's a neat feature to just be able to, boom, do it really quick and get it done. Saving time with these shortcuts. Now I believe that's all the questions that we have for today. If you guys have more questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments down below. I'm always responding to the comments and very happy to help with anything if I can. Obviously, I have limitations to what I know, but always happy to at least try and help you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, you can give it a thumbs down. I just ask that you comment down below explaining why, so I can improve my videos for the future. And if you really liked it, turn that 366 into a 367 for me, or whatever we're at. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.